Cicely, do you have a question? And you're gonna need to unmute yourself when you ask the question.
Um, okay,
You're
so
delightful, Cicely. I can already just tell that you're just a delightful person because
thank you.
you had your video on the whole time and you
I
just
didn't
like,
know how to do this business of actually seeing. Well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, things I want to say. One, I'm going to start with I'm 91 years old. Thanks. Right. I'm not dead yet. I've loved everything that you've said. What I want to say about being 91 is curiosity saves your life.
yeah.
Um,
Curiosity did not kill may have killed the cat, but it saved your life.
absolutely, absolutely fundamental. Now, some other things help, like regular exercise. They're not lying about that, but and a diet that's good, but basically curiosity. And so I loved your book. I want you to know I loved your book. Yeah, I did. And I kept thinking, okay, so the practice of gratitude is life-saving as well.
Yes.
I'm ordained as an interfaith minister. I've been in practice as a pastoral counselor for 45 years. I am so privileged to have had that experience. I went through the very, very messy, who am I, two divorces, a mess. Ohio housewife you're looking at. So then graduate schools of several kinds, seminaries, graduate schools. So, okay. So the whole business of being listening to people's stories, being healed as they tell me their story, being healed myself, being so privileged and so honored to be trusted with their stories. And one of the things I learned, and I'd love to hear your views about this, is we can become if we become aware of our emotions, and heaven knows that's a really good thing, and I'm all for men catching up with that. Or um, my generation and people I married wouldn't know feelings, they fell over it. So here we are, and now we know our emotional stories. And what I'm seeing that can happen easily is falling in love with our own dramas.
Oh my God, yes.
So seduced by our own deep feelings and dramas that we can't possibly dance with them. Not
Yeah.
possibly, because we are what they are. We are the drama. And we can't, if we let it go, how will we be important? How
Yeah.
will we matter?
Well, sometimes the drama, Cicely, it has to do with that sort of victim, perpetrator, witness kind of
Any shape at all.
dynamic. And you create an identity that is based upon the story.
Yeah.
So stories can be both liberating and incarcerating. And it is when you have the capacity to see your shadow side, to use some Carl Jung language and that Richard Rohr talks about, and to be able to liberate yourself from the shadow and the cell that you've created in terms of the narrative, it is remarkable what can change in your life as a result of that. And I see it all the time at MEA. It's one of my favorite things to do with people is to help take them on their hero's journey and to see for so many people they're stuck at the bottom of that journey. They're stuck at the toiling and challenging place, and they have gotten stuck down there because the story has become an anchor.
And victimization. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. I'm a victim.
Yeah.
Rather than I'm choosing.
Yeah.
And then being a victim becomes my MO.
One of the favorite things I did, I spent I spent yesterday and the day before with a friend of mine who was CEO of one of the most famous companies in the world. And I don't want to say he got fired, but he sort of got fired 6 months ago. And he'd been successful his whole life in everything he's ever done outwardly. And he wanted to spend 24 hours together because he's really lost. Because his story was, I'm the successful one. I'm an admiration addict. And I helped him to see that, you know what? I'll use a different name for him. I said, you are admirable Steve. And everybody sees you as admirable Steve. You're a good person. You're a good leader. You're successful. You have built an identity around that. And it is time, because deeply woven in who you are is a belief in Christ and God. And he's a religious guy, but he doesn't show that. But more importantly, he's a spiritual guy. And he's got a sense that something's supposed to come through him. And he realized that he needed to start calling himself Admirable Steve whenever he got caught up in his own story, to say, I'm supposed to show up as that person. And it's not that, what the challenge for some people is they go the opposite. Oh no, I'm supposed to be the not admiral. And they want to be like, and that's, again, midlife crisis kind of stuff where you go from being the bored, father in the suburbs to like wanting to be, drive race cars. It's not about that. It's about like being able to see yourself in that identity. And that's, when you are in that identity, you're playing a role. And yeah, Dick Schwartz's work on Parts work he's on our faculty as well, is really helpful for this.
Well,
So
just, I don't want to take up too much of my time, but I would love to have you speak to this business of being seduced by our own dramas so that we wear them like the t-shirt, you
yeah,
know.
no, I think it's unfortunately when we go to that place, we don't give space for another identity to start emerging in our life.
We shut off possibilities.
Yeah, we do. Thank you, Cicely.